Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the McLeod County Board of Commissioners meeting of February 17th, 2026 to order. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good morning, everyone. Consideration of agenda items.
No changes, Mr. Chair.
With that, I'd accept the motion to approve the agenda items.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Smolson, seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
No changes, Mr. Chair.
And I will move consent agenda as well, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Again, motion made by Commissioner Smolson, seconded by Commissioner Chatska to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
just a note from Commissioner Paul Wright, why he's absent today. He's at an agricultural conference where he'll be presenting. So he just wanted me to share that. Thank you.
Right, and we had talked about it earlier, and Commissioner Wright doesn't miss many meetings, and he didn't take it lightly, and I encouraged him to go. It's something valuable for a commissioner and for the county, so he'll be back, I'm sure, with a short presentation on what he learned. Item 4, Veteran Service. Cassandra, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Consider approving a request for Grant Christensen, Veteran Service Officer, to travel out of state from May 31st to June 5th to attend the 2026 National Association of County Veteran Service Officers Annual Training Conference in Reno, Nevada, at a cost of approximately $2,100 with funds from the Veteran Services Grants Budget Fund 25-122. Training topics will include updates from various programs offered through the Veterans Benefit Administration, Veterans Health Administration, VA National Cemetery Administration, and the Board of Veterans Appeals. Attending in person will allow Mr. Christensen to engage in meaningful, unscripted conversations with peers facing the same challenges with their veterans in their counties, exchange best practices, problem solve in real time, and build trusted professional relationships. Connect directly with presenters, partners, and NACVSO leadership, and bring ideas, tools, and renewed perspective back to McLeod County, improving outcomes for veterans and their families. Grant funds received from the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs would be used to pay for travel, lodging, conference fees, and per diem. The only cost to the county would be his hourly wages.
Thank you. That was it's good to know exactly the transparency of what's going to go on at the conference. So, board's wishes.
Mr. Chair, I will move the request and save my comments if we get a second.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve out-of-state travel. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska.
Mr.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Cassandra, thanks for bringing this forward this morning. And I think we, as a county board, we do want to support continuing education, and I think this certainly fits that criteria. I guess the only ask that I would have, and I think this is typical of any out-of-state travel we do for training or education, is that we hear from Grant after the event, and that he give us a report when the time is right for that report.
I will have him do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, have Grant come, put him on the spot so he gets to come and see us once in a while too. So I agree with all that, and obviously I get nothing but comments of our Veterans Administration here in McLeod County. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Cassandra.
Thank you.
Public Works, Andrew.
Good morning. Item A, consider awarding state project 043070026, the 6-inch edgeline pavement marking project to Camco Inc. of Dassel, Minnesota at a cost of $70,378.08 with funds from the highway construction budget. This project received $53,000 in federal funding through the Highway Safety Improvement Program solicitation, and then the remainder of the project will be funded using local funds. The engineer's estimate for this project was $139,486.80. We also received 2 other bids ranging from about $72,000 up to $120,000. This is about 61 miles of county road edgeline. We try to do a little bit of a program with HSIP every year to cover some of the costs of our improved enhanced edgelines.
Question, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Andrew, is this just latex paint, or is it ground in? Are we just talking about the fog line?
Yep,
What are we talking about?
This is just latex edgeline, just fog line, 6-inch fog line.
Very good.
I'll make a motion to approve the project. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Discussion. I do have a question. You made a comment to me earlier that bidding is a lot more friendly this year than it had been for other years.
Yeah, we're typically in the last couple of years, we've been getting 1 bidder, and this year we got 3, which shows that there's some competition in the market, and our price definitely showed that. Our estimate was using kind of our pricing from the last couple of years. That was high, and so it's actually come and cut in about half. So it's been
Which
pretty good.
Which is good news. I mean, if memory serves me right, we kind of shortened what we wanted to do last year because of the only 1 bidder and the higher pricing. So it did pay off for us.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. We
2
shortened it.
years, time flies.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Oh, excuse me, Commissioner
Lori,
Tetchell.
go ahead.
Lori.
So this is all budgeted then in your
Yes.
budget for 2026, so that's a good thing.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Cool.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
And like Commissioner Kruger had said, I'm glad that we have competitive bids in place and that the climate for, spending the money is a lot better than it was a couple of years ago. So thanks for bringing it forward.
Commissioner Chaska, are you clear on your question? Or did you get the answer? Okay, very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item B, consider approving the purchase of a new Caterpillar 140 motor grader with a 3-shank ripper and walk-in roller from Ziegler Cat at a state contract price of $441,660 with funds from the highway equipment maintenance budget. This is a budgeted purchase as a part of the scheduled equipment replacement program. This motor grader will replace a 2012 Caterpillar 12M unit with about 7,400 hours on it currently. We're looking at a 6 to 9 month lead time on getting this new unit. So it'll be towards the end of the blading season, and we'll have close to 8,000 hours on the unit we are going to dispose of. When we get the new unit, then I will come back to the board for request to auction off the old unit.
Andrew, do you feel that the lead time is pretty on course? I mean, is that pretty much what it's going to be, or?
Yeah, I
You
mean, I
already
have no
know-
reason to believe it's going to get extended significantly
Okay.
beyond. That's kind of what we've been told with pieces of equipment for the last year or so.
Okay, because it's not as long as some I've heard, so.
Yeah, the equipment market, it's coming back down. We're getting faster turnaround
Okay,
time on things.
very good. Commissioner Smalls?
Mr. Chair. And Andrew, did they give us a delivery date on this machine?
We do not have a delivery date. We've got a delivery range, which is that 6 to 9 months.
Thank you.
Glad there's no delivery date because we haven't approved ordering it yet. Just for,
Yep.
somebody will notice that. But is board's wishes?
I'll move request, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cheska. Any discussion? Would you make sure that the townships get
Yep.
uniformly noticed? I mean, I know one or two know about it now, but it'd be nice if all the townships knew whether they're interested or not, so they all have an equal chance, and see if there's any interest there.
Yep, will do.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Auditor Treasurer Janet.
Good morning. I'm asking for your consideration of approving the findings in order to accept the petition and direct further proceedings for County Ditch 63. A summary of the findings in order, which was included in your board packet, related to the orders of accepting the petition and directing further proceedings for County Ditch 63 is provided as follows. Nathan Diesterhoft and Dean Diesterhoft filed a petition to utilize CD 63 as an outlet for their property. The Drainage Authority is authorized under Minnesota Statute 103E.401 to consider the petition. The board finds the petition is sufficient to initiate proceedings. The Drainage Authority will appoint a viewer, receive a report of future benefits related to the outlet, appoint an engineer to review the petition, and make a recommendation to allow or deny the outlet based upon CD 63's capacity. The petitioners are responsible for all costs in the proceedings. The Drainage Authority will then set, notice, and hold a hearing on the petition.
Okay, it's pretty well spelled out. There's nothing more for me to add. The only thing is that the Drainage Authority and the county board are the same, so we're acting on it. Same people
Correct.
acting on it, doing it, but, any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair?
Board's wish, go ahead.
We don't go down this road very often, where we get a petition in front of us, and I guess my question is, hopefully, the staff is confident that this petition can be completed and that County Ditch 63 has the capacity to accept the flow, even though it's probably minute in what might be extra. That's my only caution, and my question is that someone hopefully did some work on it prior to the Diesterhoffs bringing a petition forward.
Correct. I'm not sure. We are bringing it to the engineer to make sure the capacity is there for CD 63. I can't speak for the Diesterhoffs to say what they've done.
And Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
and Commissioner Smalls, I mean, your concerns are valid, and really, if this petition is accepted, that directing the further proceedings is really what, the board will be directing, staff to work with the petitioner to figure those things out. Now, a lot of that will fall on the petitioner themselves to provide the necessary information, but then, of course, there's due diligence from county staff or those that we might employ, like engineers or viewers, not in this case viewers, but to really kind of, verify that information so that when this does come back to the board, you'll have all the information you need. So we're not there yet to have that information, but if you direct further proceedings, they'll be working to gather it.
Follow-up question, Mr.
Go ahead.
Chair? With this process now, will involve Houston Engineering, will involve a viewer. Do they do an abbreviated assessment of the area to control costs for the Diesterhoffs? And is it my understanding then that the Diesterhoffs will pay for those services from those two engineering firms?
It's typical under statute that the petitioner would be responsible, generally for costs associated with their petition. It can get broader. I mean, there's times where if there's benefit to the system to a whole beyond the petitioner, sometimes it can get, less clear. But yes, typically the costs associated do go back or are the responsibility of the petitioner. And yes, what you'll see will be far more abbreviated than, for instance, when we do a redetermination of benefits, that's quite comprehensive and frankly, fairly expensive. This will seem, far less involved because just by necessity, the work is significantly less.
Thanks for those explanations. Final question I do have is the property already in the CD 63 watershed area. I hope that's not too technical of a question to ask. So I mean, which would already mean that, you know, they're contributing to the ditch in some way or form with their surface runoff.
I'd have to look at that, Nathan, Commissioner Schmalz, on the system. I can definitely do that if you give me a few minutes.
I'm sure it is, but if you want to just verify that, that'd be fine.
Okay,
If you want to, you wanted, how long do you want?
give me 5 minutes on my computer.
Okay, very good.
Okay, perfect. I have a
I'm
question.
just looking at our agenda here.
Do you know the lay of the farm?
I do not, but I do know how the drainage rules work. I mean, basically, they're petitioning, I would guess in order to take the petition forward, they have to be within that watershed because that's a whole nother procedure to be brought into the watershed. But I don't know when the last viewing was done. I expect it was it's probably within the last 3 years, and I'm guessing, so that'd be the other thing, but a lot of these questions can't be answered until we get the engineer's report. And if for some, in my experience with drainage, and in some reason it does fail, or some of these questions can't be answered, that is on the back of the petitioner. That's when the petitioner, otherwise if the system if it goes forward, it is part of the system. It's not up, it goes forward to the system, and those questions will all come. They don't have them, we don't have them.
Correct.
Until the engineer's report is there. Now, if you want her to check to see if it's in, because if it's not, it can't go forward. It'd have to be within the 63 watershed.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of their land is benefited currently, if there's anything without me looking at the viewer's report.
And I don't either. But if they're tiling outside of the watershed, that's a whole nother procedure, and that'll all come to us in the next phase of.
And correct, and not to be dismissive of any of the concerns, but, I mean, the abbreviated information that Janet would be able to locate in the next few minutes, I don't know that it'll really be able to guide
Right.
your vote today. Right now, we have a petition in front of us that on its face warrants being accepted and considered, and then that consideration will involve this investigation, into, where it currently lies and then what's proposed. So, certainly it's the board's prerogative if you get further information before taking this vote, but, whatever information would be summarily available from Janet in the next couple minutes probably doesn't change the, what needs to be done here today much.
Because bottom line, when it comes forward, when they sign these petitions, it's all in there. If the expenses come back to the petitioner, and any of those other findings will come to us in the next, when the engineer's report is there, you'll have all, I don't even know if you'd have all the answers right now, other than if it's in the watershed.
Correct, so.
If Adam was here, he'd know, but
Right,
I do
and
not know offhand.
we'll appoint that viewer and the engineer to decide on that capacity level if it's
Right.
there with the drainage system of CD 63. And then they'll be able to say, yes, CD 63 meets the capacity, or no, it doesn't. And that will help us move forward with the petition, which will then bring back to the board for the next steps.
Again, I don't want to make light either, but I mean, we're not just carte blanche letting it go. It'll come back to us after they have these findings.
Mr.
Chair. Go ahead.
And even in all, I'm sorry, in all that petition, I mean, can at times involve bringing new land into a system, which then, would need to, they would need to get assessed and benefited for that as well. So but that would all be for, another time when we had all of this data in front of us. So again, I'll leave it at that, but there's times where this petition does serve as a mechanism to bring land into a watershed as well. But all of that would need to get vetted out as part of this process.
Correct. Mr. Chair. Commissioner Smalls, go ahead.
And Attorney, thanks for the explanation on, how we can think this through this morning, and you've really helped me with it. I bring these questions up not just for the board's benefit, but for the public benefit as well, to be, totally transparent in the process, right? So
Oh, and that's fine.
that's kind of the questions I bring up, and and hopefully we can all be, accommodated by those questions to move forward and make good decisions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I do have two questions.
Go ahead.
First of all, what is a viewer?
Those are the individuals that go out to the land, view the land, and determine what value is placed on their benefit to the drainage system. So if you're right on the drainage system, maybe your land is viewed higher because of the flow into the system. I myself live in the country. I'm half-mile away from my ditch approximately, but my land benefits from that. So me, even as a residential non-ag homeowner, I benefit by that system as well. So they determine who is within that area of the ditch and what level of benefit.
So is it somebody that we employ, or is it
No,
just?
this is an outside.
Okay. The second question is, why would somebody want to join a ditch system if they aren't previously on it?
You need the outlet for the water, for one thing. If they're,
Or is
and
that
I'm
something that's
guessing, and I
gonna?
should never do that. I'm sure they're within they're
Okay.
within the watershed and probably bringing on a new tile line that could possibly put
Okay.
water into the 63 faster
So
than,
like somebody's
I'm
putting in a new
guessing,
tile line or something like that, not, okay, all right.
if
that's
you're
it.
out of the system, I mean, and it's, and like Janet just said, your water's going somewhere.
Okay,
So it could be another system, it could be, again, I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't exactly know the project, and we'll learn that from the engineer's report.
nope, that's good. I just didn't know, but that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
With that, I'd make a motion, is there any other discussion? I'll make a motion to accept the findings of order, to accept the petition for County Ditch 63.
And I will second it.
Motion's made and by Kruger and seconded by Schmalz to approve. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thanks, Janet.
Thank you.
Janet, before you sit down, if there's anything out of the ordinary that we discussed this morning, would you just send the commissioners an email? But I'm pretty confident that we're just approving to do the findings, so it's good. Thank you. Good morning, Matt. Information and technology.
Good morning. One item this morning, consider approving the renewal of the 3-year RSA ID Plus subscription with SHI of Somerset, New Jersey at a state contract or total state contract price of $94,977.06 with funds from the information technology budget. The subscription costs include annual payments of $25,723 plus a one-time payment of $17,807.44 for hardware tokens. RSA ID Plus is the multi-factor authentication solution used by the county and is required to meet security requirements from the Minnesota County's Intergovernmental Trust, Criminal Justice Information Services, Federal Tax Information, and others.
Thank you, Matt. I notice it's a renewal, and unless I missed something, is there an increase from last year? Or?
There is a slight increase. This is also a 3-year instead of the typical 1 year.
Okay. And obviously, it must be doing what you want it to do, or you wouldn't be looking for a renewal.
Correct.
Board's wishes.
I'll move request, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. County Administration, Commissioners' calendars. I get to start, and I just realized I didn't dig mine out of the bag.
You want me to go first?
Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kruger. I will start off. After our last board meeting, February 3rd, we held a workshop here at the Government Center. Followed by the workshop, we had a Union Negotiations Committee meeting here at the Government Center. And I also met with Kaisa Olson, our CHB administrator after that meeting on Tuesday the 3rd. On Wednesday the 4th, I had what we call CHAT. That's the Community Health Advisory Team here at the Government Center. That's an advisory group that reviews information that the CHB will be looking at, our Community Health Board, in the future. Thursday the 5th is my usual Prime West Joint Powers Board meeting. I drove to Alexandria. The meeting was held in the usual location, and I guess the encouraging news is the membership, and I've said this before, with the changes that have been made at the legislative level, the membership has increased rather dramatically from 52,000 or so members to, I think now we're in the 70,000 members. So that's really good news for Prime West, and it was anticipated. When they look at their budget cycles and their money and their expenses, including their staff required to handle these, they're looking at future and doing budgets, and so it looks like their estimates have been pretty much on target, and that's good news for Prime West. The following week, I had on Wednesday the 11th, we had our Community Health Board Joint Powers Board meeting, and that meeting was held at the solid waste facility in Hutchinson. Community Health Board, for those who don't know it, is Meeker, McLeod, and Sibley. Community Health Board, it involves public health, serving all 3 counties, and we had a lengthy agenda, and appreciate the other 2 counties' presence. Everyone was in attendance, and we had a really good meeting on the 11th. And then also on that same day, I had a Pact for Families meeting scheduled basically at the same time as the Community Health Board meeting. So I did participate with that Pact meeting by Zoom. I guess, Mr. Chair, that completes my report for this week.
Thank you, Commissioner Smalls. Lori, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I can go.
Go ahead.
So after the workshop on the 3rd, I had, well, this would have been on Thursday, I attended via Zoom my first East Central Regional Juvenile Center Committee meeting. Something that I've never dabbled in, but it was interesting to, hear the information that they had, how many beds we have up there, how many, how it's all served and that sort of thing. And they gave some budgeted items for 2026, replacing some asphalt and stuff in their outdoor rec area, installing a new water softener, and replacing exterior windows, which they said is going to be an ongoing thing. They're just going to try and fix a little bit at a time. On that same day, in between that meeting, or before and after that meeting, then I attended the Prime West one via Zoom. On Wednesday, the 11th, we had a Zoom meeting with CHS to go over a survey type thing that they have with the Community Health Board. So we kind of knew what we were looking at before the meeting on Thursday. And then Thursday, I went to the one that Nathan was at as well, over in Hutch. It was a lengthy meeting, but it was a very good meeting, trying to figure out the new year going forward and that sort of thing. And then on Friday the 13th, I attended via Zoom the Southwest 18 first meeting of the year. So that one was a longer one too, with the things that they were doing. But one of the things they had was a presentation by the Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic. They deal with mental health issues, and it was an interesting presentation to listen to. It's not only available to the Southwest 18 counties, but anybody that's affected, that will go to them. So that was interesting as well. So other than that, that's all I got.
Thank you, Commissioner Trescott. Ryan, do you have anything from Attorney's Office?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't often share a lot about the internal workings of my office, but I did want to acknowledge some good work by my staff last week. It was a busy week, the week of the 9th. We actually had 2 felony jury trials, both alleging assault with a dangerous weapon or assault in the 2nd degree. So 2 unrelated cases. So we have 2 sitting judges here in our courthouse, and both of them were holding trial last week. So it was a busy place to be. Our parking lot was a bit fuller than usual. So both jury trials resulted in convictions, one for assault in the 2nd degree, felony threats of violence, and a misdemeanor assault in the 5th degree. That was a 50-year-old Winstead woman in a case that occurred in Winstead and was investigated by the Winstead Police Department. And then the second was a trial involving felony assault in the 2nd degree, and then again a felony threats of violence charge, and he was found guilty of both of those charges as well by a second jury, and that was for a 43-year-old Hutchinson man that was investigated by the Hutchinson Police Department. So 2 of our assistant county attorneys, Mr. Borgen and Mr. Droppo, worked primarily on those cases. Our support staff would be responsible for coordinating the witnesses, helping with the logistics and supporting those attorneys during trial. And then, you know, our law enforcement deserves a shout out. I mean, the Hutchinson Police Department, the Winstead Police Department, they did, and the bravery of our victims coming to testify is what allowed us to seek justice for these folks. So it was a busy week. It was a job well done, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. So thank you.
Thank you. I'll finish up with mine. Since the last board meeting, I attended a negotiations committee meeting to discuss our ongoing labor negotiations. I then also had a fairgrounds meeting that entailed with some perimeter ditch and stormwater plans that we're looking at. And on the 10th, I had a department head meeting, and I also had an extension committee meeting the same day. On the 11th, I sat in a 4-hour Zoom call from the Attorney General's office on waters in Minnesota, the future waters in Minnesota. And the people interested or interested groups is quite entailed on their ideas on what needs to be done with water. It is obviously a concern that gets blamed somewhat, or a lot of the blame always comes back to the farming industry, which I don't entirely agree with. I mean, the landscapes are changing, but as long as the 4 hours went, it was enlightening. I mean, there was things that I learned there that you kind of get a grip on all the different ideas that the sides have. There was nothing really there to make a decision on. They had a couple farmers come in and testify on farming, and it happened to be a farmer that farmed all the way from Le Sueur, New Prague area, or not New Prague, Belle Plaine, all the way down to Mankato. And it was couple of his stories were interesting, to say the least. I mean, they plant their crops 3 times a year. I mean, it's obviously very fertile ground. But anyhow, I digress. But it's something that I like to keep the water. I try to keep abreast on what's going on with all the different entities. And on the 12th, I had my first Fairgrounds Commission meeting. I took a position there after Commissioner Nagel left. And again, I'm just getting on there, but it was a meeting of all the departments there and gave their reports, and it was interesting. I had my agenda review on the 13th, which brings us to today. And with that, I'll go back to our administrator to work on administration. I do have a request, and it's up to the rest of the board. We have a closed meeting coming up on 8, or on D, And I was wondering if we could do our open forum and press relations before we go into the closed meeting.
Mr. Chair, I don't believe that we will be able to do that because the attorney is already waiting for us and they don't have a lot of time because they need to
they
move
don't.
on to union negotiations at
Okay.
another county.
That's fine.
Thank you.
We'll just leave it as is. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, would you be okay with moving to item D first to complete that since the attorney is waiting for the county board? Is that allowable?
We can.
Since there's no time listed?
Okay, with
Okay.
that said, is there a motion to take item D first? I'll make that motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, during the closed meeting, the room would need to be clear of anyone except our county attorney, myself, and the county board of commissioners. So Stefan Wiblemo would move everyone to the room next door.
So we're gonna move, or
No, we will stay here.
we'll stay here? Okay.
Because of the technology, and Stefan would bring the group over there, and we would notify him once complete.
Very good. All in favor of moving D first, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I also should note that Hannah Troflat, our Employee Relations Director, needs to be in that meeting as well.
Very
Thank you.
well. Sorry for the inconvenience, but I don't
Mr.
think
Chair?
it'll be a very long meeting, will it?
It shouldn't be, but prior to, asking others to step out for the closed meeting, if you could address item D now, the reasons for it, and then get a motion
All right,
and a
very well.
second to actually close it.
The next item on the agenda is a closed meeting to discuss litigations based on attorney-client privilege to discuss an unfair labor practice. The topics of the discussion are decisions of Minnesota Public Employee Relations Board and appeal. The meeting will be closed pursuant to the attorney-client privilege, Minnesota Statute 13D-05, Subdivision 3B. I'm looking for a motion to enter into a closed session for the reasons I just stated.
Move closed session, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls, seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chair, just to note that the meeting on video would continue after the closed meeting is complete as well for viewers at home. Thank you.
Very well. There will be, the meeting will pick up as soon as we're done with the closed meeting. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll enter into a closed meeting. You're off.
Sorry, is there anything that needs to be done to reopen the meeting besides the motion that was made at the end of the closed meeting?
No, I would just note we are back from our closed meeting that had been closed pursuant to the attorney-client privilege for the reasons cited. So I think we can resume with the remaining agenda. Thank you.
Right, and there's no information to pass on from the closed meeting. It just was all good. So, again, go ahead, administration.
Thank you. Item A, notification of receipt of a letter from our Auditor Treasurer, Connie M. Kurtzweg, on February 3rd, 2026, indicating she will not file for Auditor Treasurer in the 2026 general election. The board will consider whether to continue with the McLeod County Auditor Treasurer as an elected position or pursue an appointed position during a public hearing scheduled for the March 17, 2026 board meeting. And I just have a few notes to go over in regards to that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I took some information from the Minnesota Department of Revenue's Auditor Treasurer Manual. That was most recently updated in September of 2025. And just noting that the election or appointment of Auditor Treasurer, traditionally, property tax administration has been the primary responsibility of the county auditor, Auditor Treasurer, and/or Treasurer. Over time, the composition of statutory duties and the titles given to the positions responsible for their performance have evolved, and they will likely continue to do so. Common titles today for these positions include taxpayer services offices, there's so many different. I won't read them all to you. I will give a copy to the county board for review. The future focus is not so much on the title of the offices, but rather on a reasonable aggregation of similar duties. Since 2001 special legislation allowing a county to make a position appointed or combining auditor and treasurer has been outlined, and many counties have done so. The most popular option been making the office of county recorder an appointed position and combining the offices of auditor and treasurer, which McLeod County has already done. Just looking at McLeod County, when reviewing typical duties of the auditor treasurer in the Department of Revenue's manual, you'll see that many of the duties listed in McLeod County are already split between our auditor treasurer's office and our finance office due to the vast amount of responsibility. And I apologize, but Connie could not be here today, or she would probably comment as well on that. This departmental structure was accomplished through a series of decisions made by our county board at those times throughout the years since the resignation of Cindy Ford as auditor treasurer. And then she took on an interim role as county administrator, if you recall. Our finance department functions within administration today. Our neighboring county boards in Sibley and Renville counties went through the process in recent years to make their auditor treasurer an appointed position through the statutory process when there were vacancies within their role, which is why I want to provide that information to our county board as well. An updated position description will be provided to you for clarity of role responsibilities, so there's a good understanding of what that contains. I reached out for discussion with counties within our region. An advantage noted by those counties included that moving to an appointed process allowed their county board to have specialized skill requirements for the role duties that supported the needs of the county to serve the taxpayers, where an elected process could be more unpredictable if an individual does not have that necessary skill set to complete the required duties of the role. And it seemed that that was why many of the counties pursued that. They also noted that since the auditor treasurer role does not have significant decision-making capabilities that don't require board approval, that the person in this elected role also often doesn't have the statutory allowance to act independently without county board approval. Then it was helpful to have the county board oversee the auditor treasurer in appointed capacity, since the performance of their duties is similar to how other non-elected department head staff operates in that role. We will have our public hearing on March 17th. If the county were to go to an appointment process, the appointments occur every 4 years, like many of our other roles that have appointments. And then we'll review more information at that public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B, notification of a public hearing regarding the rifle hunting and shotgun-only zone changes at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, here at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. Item C, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. And we already did item D before the rest. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Open forum. Anyone here wanting to address the board? Come to the mic and state your name and where you're from. We try to hold these open forums as we want to get all the information. We try to keep them as brief as possible.
Okay, Scott Erickson Hutchinson. No, I've been in government building here more than once on different occasions on social service matters or.
Can you pull the mic maybe or it should swivel up to you so you're talking directly into it?
Just to get some questions
There you are.
answered on certain things, but on February 18th, 11th would have been, I went down to the Glencoe Police Department just to gather some information. I come across some reports that had my name on it, so I was kind of disappointed or disturbed on what I've got a report here from Sheila Murphy that was on this would have been a year ago, February 19, 2025, that she was requesting a trespass for an individual, which was me. And the female did not want a male returning to multiple government buildings within the county. So kind of was disturbed to see all that. I don't know if you want me to read all this, I can start, but
I think
approximate.
for time purposes, if you can outline
Okay.
what your problems are and
I
what,
got copies of all this too, so, and I'll just highlight too. She wanted me out of multiple government buildings, McLeod County Government Center, McLeod County Courthouse, law enforcement courthouse. I spent a lot of time in law enforcement, get down there quite a bit, getting records, or if I just want to hand out candy and say hi to the county people. It's a public place, and I got fairly good relations with people in the county, but not everybody. And then McLeod County Fairgrounds, which is another one. So I just don't believe that somebody that works for the government here can just chase everybody out of these public buildings. But it's been 2 years for the Hutch Fairgrounds now, so I can see where that's coming from. So that she also stated that he didn't want me to get arrested, but he has less reason to be facilities that stated did not want Scott charged, and it just kind of goes on, and then it wraps up where the county attorney was supposed to send me some type of letter. So it's just something I came across that I didn't think it needed to get to this detail. So the county attorney will send a letter to Scott, and hopefully I'll evaluate the issues, which I've never received anything. So you can get into more detail and read this all over. And I've just had a real uncomfortable several years living in the county. I've just been harassed by Joe Nagel. I can go to the post office, and next thing he's buzzing around me all day long. And been picked on by him. Thank God he's out of here. And I was complaining to Sheila about him even back in the day and the stupid picture she had of him, because I don't have any love for Joe Nagels. I've been falsely arrested by him. So anything she has to promote in the government center, I'm not too proud of, and I'm not going to have good comments to say about. So it does get a little bit weird when I, have relations with some of the county people. And then another thing that was brought up too, that I've had numerous paperwork served on me for different court cases, harassment orders, or trespass violation or orders. And then Scott Wozniak that said paper server work. I found out that she's married to him, so I told her, "Tell your husband to stay out of my bedroom." Because he got into the building, he was banging on my bedroom door. So
we probably need to stay on topic of
well,
what
the
you're
topic
asking.
has her complaint to me being in the building, the things that I'm stressing on, so it made her uncomfortable. Well, it's uncomfortable for me to do a lot of, or if I go to the fair and stuff like that, why do I need to be restricted from all these places? And anyway, it's been brewing. I'd typically come down there for a reason, ask some questions and stuff like that, and express my opinions on things I like or don't like. So I don't think it gives her the authority to push me out of every government place in the county. And then I want to see the report to that letter too, that making sure there ain't false and misleading law enforcement on this too.
All right.
Because I've been trespassed at other places. For an example, the Aquatic Center in the city of Hutchinson. And then that started out the Aquatic Center, and then eventually got into the ice arena too. I don't frequent the ice arena, but I don't know.
We only deal, our only deal there would be the fairgrounds, would not be, the city is
But there's
their own
corruption.
entity.
There's corruption with the county stuff, so,
All right, is there anything else, or?
'Cause I was cleaning out Sheila Murphy's neighbor's house when I was cleaning windows there too, and then for some reason there was cops in the area too, so I don't know if that was a red flag that I'm, so if I can't conduct my business now, and I gotta have law enforcement, or, am I gonna get trespassed out of her neighborhood? It could have been just a coincidental, but when you got all this trespass stuff going on, you create a little bit of concerns.
Mr. Chair, I'd like my home to not be discussed in the boardroom anymore today, or my family. Thank you.
I guess we need to move on. If we don't usually interact with open forum, but I would recommend that if you have specific complaints, to actually talk with our county attorney.
Well, the county attorney was supposed to respond to this anyway, and I haven't heard nothing, so we would have been talking. If I wouldn't have gotten these reports, I wouldn't even known that my name, anything with my name on it, I'd prefer to know about it. So
I guess he's hearing it today, so I'll let Ryan do, or the
So.
county attorney do as he
The
sees
complaints,
fit.
issues
So
we got addressed about Mr. Erickson, I want to know about it, and then if there's a letter that I'm supposed to get, I should have known about it, and I want to know what the complaints all are and all that, so if maybe we both got to change our behaviors, it takes two to tango kind of thing, you know?
with that, I'd like to move forward. I think you made
So
your
anyway, I'll
point.
just get copies of all the reports, so we can have that.
If you want to pass them out, then we'll call it. You emailed me one, so I have one. Got it. Anyone else wish to address the board? Come up and state your name and what you have to say.
Hi, Doyle Benson from Collins Township again. So, with the auditor, treasurer auditor, discussion of going away from being electable, I want to just express my opinion that I totally would not want you to go away from the election. So as I campaigned, I walked out to different places, and the people said, you know, it's amazing. You're the first person in 20 years that has come to my house. I heard that quite a bit. I heard people say that, you know, who is my county commissioner that's supposed to represent me. So I believe when we move away from election, we move away from representing the people to rather having the capability of joining the corporation of the government or a buddy system that can happen. And so I really ask you not to go to appointed. I want you to stay electable. It holds the people more accountable, and there is wiggle room for people to make a difference outside of the law. So I want to really express that I absolutely, and to me, the discussion should be how do we bring the recorder back into electable, and how do we bring the business administrator back to an electable clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the board? Press relations, I see no press. The next county board meeting is 9 a.m. Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North in Glencoe, Minnesota. I will now entertain a motion to recess.
Move recess, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smallson, seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. We're recessed.